Hey, welcome to this edition of Thrive. As always, I hope it finds you well, especially as we start building up towards Christmas. You know, lately I've been turning over this conversation that's got me thinking about things I probably should think about more often. The conversation was initiated by these two blind beggars who were sitting by the side of the road, and as they did, they heard this noise coming near them, which could only mean that someone important was approaching. And as the crowd got closer, they called out and asked what was happening, and they were told that it was the Messiah. And so as Jesus went past, they called out to him, Lord, have mercy on us. And Jesus stops and he looks at them and he asks them this simple, yet I think profound question. He says, so what is it that you want me to do for you? And I say that it's simple and profound because, I think that you and I cry out to God most days in some way or another. For some, it's that deliberate prayer asking God for his help because of a situation that is before us, something that we feel we can't get through by ourselves, or something that just threatens to upset our equilibrium and just it's a curveball that we weren't expecting. Or it could be just the simple, help me Jesus type remark. But imagine in those times, Jesus actually answers you and says, so what do you want me to do for you? What would you say? What comes to mind? And I'm willing to bet that the moment your answer leaves your lips, there'll be a sense of regret for many. I'm willing to bet that for many, our first response is, did I really say that? And there's a sense of embarrassment, like how superficial was my answer? Like how selfish, did I really say that? And the reason I say that is simply because I think that our initial answer and then that sense of embarrassment because of how shallow it seemed just reflects something that holds many of us back from being everything that we are called to be. I think that it reflects the thing that stops us from living out of the fullness of life and truly experiencing everything that we could experience. You see, I think that the reason that so many of us, our initial response would feel kind of superficial is because we haven't settled our why. We have a lack of clarity around our purpose, around what it is that we're here for. And that answer reflects that. And so I want to encourage you, to take some time and really think about this for a moment. If Jesus or someone else who's very significant, if you're not a Christian, were to say to you, what do you want me to do for you? Deep down, what would your answer be? Take some time and think about it. What would my answer be? Not what would my initial response be, but what would my real answer be? You see, I say that because chances are that the real answer is where your why is. It's where your motivation, where your passion is. Yeah, in the passage in Matthew 20 where these two beggars cry out to Jesus, what happens is as they hear him coming, it says that they started calling out, trying to get the attention of the crowd, trying to find out what was happening, trying to get the attention of the Messiah. And the crowd scolds them for causing this disturbance and tells them to be quiet. But Matthew says they only shouted louder, which sort of begs a question, I think, and this is what I've been thinking about myself. What disturbs me enough to disturb others? What disturbs me enough such that I can't be quiet? What disturbs me in ways that means I have to act, I have to cry out, I have to disturb some other people, I have to make other people feel uncomfortable? Not because I want them to be uncomfortable, but because I can't be quiet. You see, the very disturbance in your soul may well be the driving force behind your why. The thing that makes you restless, the thing that you can't be quiet about, most likely is connected to your why. And the reason I think it's significant just to take some time and why I want to encourage you to take some time and think about how would you answer if Jesus said, what do you want me to do for you? Is because these two blind men, as they stood on the threshold of a breakthrough that would change their life forever. And maybe you do as well. Maybe you and I are standing on the threshold and that breakthrough will come in the form of a question from Jesus. What do you want me to do for you? So I want to encourage you, take some time to just dial it down and just think about, if Jesus were to ask you that question, if you had time to prepare, what would your response be? And then let that response lead you into uncovering the purposes and the plans that God has for your life, that you might start living out of that and enjoying the plans and purposes God has for you. Because that's where your fulfillment, that's where your sense of purpose, that's where your sense of meaning is going to flow. And that's what's going to help you thrive. So that's my encouragement for you. Until next time, God bless you.